had a long walk today, peeps, and hey, it's me again. I just want to say what's happening down in LA County. Oh my God, I was thinking about. I was watching a video of YouTube reactions to what's happening down there in LA County. Even some people on Twitter, of all places, yeah. And you're probably asking, why are you talking about Twitter? I thought you deleted your account. Oh, I did. I just made another one and got back because I noticed some of my favorite games, the people that make the Hoyoverse games and the Kuro games, they're not all on Blue Sky. Not really much activity on Threads, unfortunately. So because I want to be able to have login rewards, be able to see what the news is going, besides on YouTube itself, sparsely on TikTok, I decided to log back for the keepsake of just being back on X for that reason. And it wasn't because Donald Trump and Elon Musk, their husband, honeymoon, marriage thing is over. No, it's not that. And that would have been funny for that reason though. And I would be like, yeah, me too. Yeah. But anyways, peeps, I have to say it like this. Number one, when it comes to the protests down south, down there in LA County, my just honest advice for everyone is you're allowed to have the right to assembly, which is legal, by the way, which is why you guys are protesting, which is your, First Amendment right to the freedom of speech. That is also your right too. Number two, I want to remind you, you can still burn a flag in this country, in America, because that's actually warranted. But what you can't do is the thing I keep seeing that on Twitter, the white people over there for some reason, and some people of color, of course, that have been compromised, if you will, believing their Fox News garbage, if not MAGA moron nonsense, have been believing most of us, the protesters down south over here in LA County, even though I'm up north from you guys in San Luis Obispo County, I have to say this like this to you guys. They assume you guys are looters and vandals, and they're only basically looking at the people who are causing the vandalization, if not destruction, if not graffiti tagging, if not looting innocent bystanders, if not stores and shops and whatever. And they're thinking it's you guys who are actually protesting, and I know it's not, because I'm not blind. I know what's going on too. And number two, those people are taking advantage of a situation that shouldn't be taken advantage of. And if I were you, the owners in LA County, I would start boarding up your businesses, closing up shop early if you have to, even though it might affect your business. That's my advice. And if it's illegal to carry down in LA County, because I don't know if in this county, in this state still has a right to carry laws or whatever, I don't know, probably not still. That's what I would do if I were you. I would just close your business for as long as you can hold out, for maybe like a week or so until this phase passes over, if it does. And I would just board up your business, remove any perishable items, board up your businesses, so that way you don't have any issues, and maybe hire some security in front of those boarded up business so nothing else happens. That's just really my feel about the situation. And for the vandals and the looters, they have nothing to do with the protest people. So if you're thinking that on Twitter, especially you white people of Twitter, you compromised people of color of Twitter, stop that. That's not the people who are protesting peacefully. That's just screenshots of people who are taking advantage of a situation, and you just basically saw people documenting their own crime and probably will face some prison time, if not jail time. Those people have nothing to do with the actual protesters. Now, those people who are burning cars, breaking them, setting on fire, that's considered vandalization, by the way. That's actually illegal. Not burning the flag, though. Just remember that. I just wish Carlos Espina and other Hispanic Latino creators with bigger platforms than myself can just say, you can burn the flag, but everything else that isn't the American flag is illegal, is vandalization. And when it comes to these businesses, do not loot there, because that's nothing to do with the protest. That is totally the misdirection nobody needs. And that's exactly what Trump is hoping you guys would do, so he can still bring things like the National Guard, Marines, SEAL, and all that kind of horrible stuff, the Army, etc. Please stop doing that, because that's what he's wanting. And if I were you people, I would keep an eye on those people who are going in directions of any business and are attempting to start fires that don't need to be started and stuff like that, because that's a misdirection to any protest, which does not help your cause at all. But you can burn the American flag because of how disappointed you are in this country. That is illegal only. I already talked this about, I think a few months ago, and I was, responding to Carlos Espina, of course, and anyone else who probably didn't understand, but it's all there. It's on the Google. It's free until they decide to charge it otherwise. Google is free, Safari is free, Bing is free. If you want to know what Bing is, Microsoft, aka Hotmail, aka Outlook, aka MSN.com. That's what I'm talking about. And there's Firefox, different browser, by the way, as well as any other I can mention right now. Internet Explorer, if that's even a thing anymore. That's also from them too. Google Chrome, that's Google's. Safari, that's Apple's actually. There you go, to name a few. But please, people, do not loot, do not vandalize, do not graffiti tag anything. I know you guys hate ICE. I get it. That's awesome you do. That is your right, because you have a right to hate them. But when it comes to assaulting them first, I can't actually be okay with that with you. They have to attack you first to defend yourselves. To be honest with you guys, that is wrong. And also, if you see some weird people like Hassan Piker down in LA County conveniently, know that he's just an extremist enabler, and he doesn't really care about your cause. He's just trying to do it for clicks and views for relevancy. I just want you guys to know that. And it's not okay to hurt other people during that time. But it's okay, however, if you have like young families and they're not like teenager age or up, it's probably best for you guys to just go home but still support your freedom of speech, because you don't need to be putting your kids in danger. I was seeing some photos, if not videos, over on Twitter X of some families getting hurt, young families, the babies, children, whatever. Yeah, maybe you guys should just stay home until it's safe, and just let the adults do the protesting, okay? That's all I want, is everyone's safe. Everyone has a right to assemble, right to have the freedom of speech. But yeah, the minute you guys start to loot, burn stuff that isn't a flag out of disappointment of this country, by the way, that's the only thing you're allowed to burn, but nothing else, because that's considered arson, by the way. You can't do that. The minute you do arson, the minute you loot, the minute you freaking, vandalize, break, and destroy stuff like those Waymo cars, for instance, yeah, you did a tad too much, a tad too far, and tagging fuck ICE on people's property, pulling people out of cars, tagging them on random walls. Don't do that. That's vandalization, guys. So please don't do that. If you're going to be there for the protest, please just be there just for peacefully protesting. And also, don't go in front of highways, any oncoming traffic, any oncoming vehicles, no freeways, no highways, none of that. If you're going to protest, protest in front of like the courts. Protest in front of immigration. That's where you should be protesting, people. Protest there. Protest in front of the police. Protest in front of immigration. Protest in front of that instead. That's my advice. If I was you and I was LA County, that's what I would be doing. I would have a right to assemble in front of the courthouse, because this was going against your actual rights, by the way. But some of you who did like what my mom probably did and did it the so-called right way, okay, that's my advice. Go in front of the same courts, protest there, and protest. And if you're on the East Coast, and specifically in the state of New York, go in front of the United Nations and protest in front of them too, so they can help you with this issue we have here too. Because we need some help down here too as well, in our home country. Okay, that's just my advice, everybody. As someone who is a Hispanic Latino of Mexican American descent, I do care about my people. I know they don't care much about me because we have this issue between each other, which is dumb, by the way. Their political correctness. Everybody in America sees all Mexicans. Doesn't matter what side of the border we're born on. We're all brown. We're all just going down in front of the rice. That's all they care about. Okay? We're just all the same. So stop it. Anyways, peeps, that's all I have to advise you on. I'll come up with some other videos to help you guys correctly do right of assembly. And if we have to Google this together, I'll be there. And hopefully you'll be there too, waiting for me when I have the chance to do that. Okay, peeps? Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I actually do care, and thank you again, and I'll see you next post. Bye, peeps.